plane. USB charging. Tight guards, a couple extra levers, stretch bracket, charger, USB-C charger, some paperwork. All right, you guys, the truth is, it really did get lost in the mail. I was supposed to have this clipper much sooner than I got it. However, I have been testing some units, and some of the things that I've been testing are nearly, I don't want to say identical to this, but very similar to this. And I actually have been cutting hair with this for about a week in the shop. So I'm sure some of you guys are wondering, hey, I got a Rebel. Hey, I got a boosted clipper. Should I update to this? So let's tell you a little bit of a backstory, and I'm gonna break this entire machine down for you in today's video, and hopefully we can answer that question for you. And by the way, if you guys choose to purchase this or anything else from Stylecraft, you guys know you can use my code Eddie with Stylecraft and Gamma, and you can save 10% off of your unit. So with that being said, let's tell you guys a little story. Just like any company that tries to become great, we try to constantly update all of our tools to make sure that we're giving you the best possible tools. And if you guys seen the video about the Rebels, the current Rebels that are on the shelf have 5 key updates that the very first version of the Rebel that was released in like 2023 and won Best Clipper of the Year on a bunch of different YouTube channels from 2023 to 2024. And yes, now the Rebel is not the best clipper in my opinion. There are better clippers from Stylecraft and Gamma that I feel like sort of outperform it in some ways. However, when it comes to blending and when it comes to just an overall classic shape, something that's just very easy for most people to pick up and start using right away, I do think the Rebel and the Boosted are just excellent options, especially if you're a beginner. And let me explain that real quick. When we're beginners, we don't probably want the most powerful clipper under the sun, just because when we're flicking up into them sections and things like that, sometimes having a motor that runs a little bit slower is gonna give you a little smoother of a blend. It might be a little bit easier for you. There are even more updates in this boosted up model, and let me tell you about them. So the number one feature here is you have a more powerful and higher torque motor. And these are super torque rotary motors. They are very, very strong, very good at getting through bulk, clipper over comb, removing a ton of bulk. It's not going to be a problem with this. So when clients come in, they're like, hey, I want a 3 on top. They come in, they've been wolfing all summer. Boom, you can just knock that down and you're not going to have to make as many passes. The second big update to this unit is it actually has USB-C charging on the bottom now. And other than that, you have the fade blade, which these fade blades are actually starting to be made a little bit different. The blade tech that we have at both Gamma and Stylecraft is definitely I think the best blades in the industry, and that's really kind of the heart of what makes this great. So this actually has the fade blade, and if you want, you can put the Echo Crunch blade on here, you can put the Vapor blade on here, you can do whatever you want to do. But before you do that, I would say, I know that we've gotten away from fade blades. A lot of us have moved on and kind of prefer cutting with like the Echo Crunch and stuff like that. But let me tell you why you might want to give this a try. Number one, you're going to have no trouble blending out all of the harsh guidelines. This clipper and this motor, being that it runs a little bit slower than some of the others, it's going to provide you the forgiveness you need. So pairing with the fade blade is really not a bad deal. Now, if you're newer to cutting hair, or if you're cutting a customer that you're not sure how the hair is going to react, putting your first guideline in with a fade blade in the closed position actually makes it pretty easy to remove that guideline. You could then follow up underneath with your trimmer, and you could go about your normal process. And you're going to find that that bottom line that some of you guys struggle to remove is going to come out quite easily, especially with a fade blade. Now, being that we are out here in the mountains, clients are kind of hard to come by. There's hardly anybody around here. We hiked a little ways just to get down to this little spot here, and I got to find me a customer to give this a try to, because this spot right here seems like it'd be a perfect spot to try this clipper and tell you guys a little bit more. So let's see if we can find somebody, and I'll get right back to it. Somehow, guys, we found a customer, and we are missing a couple tools, but it don't matter. I'm gonna show you guys how to get it done with no trimmer And we're gonna give him a nice little skin fade here. All right, so combing through his hair, I could already see it's pretty fine. So actually a smart way to put this line in anyways would be without the trimmer. To start with, I'm gonna just debulk it a little bit so I can see the line a little better. I'm gonna put on the number 2. As you guys can see, these fit the normal tight guards. And I zero gap this pretty close because we don't have a trimmer, so I kind of hear it hitting the guard. Fully closed position, then I'm gonna click it back 1. I'm gonna do some of this sitting down. This log is working out perfect. As you guys can see, we got the guideline just about hammered out pretty good. We have it even on both sides. We're gonna check and make sure, and then we'll move on to the next step, and we'll start to blend out that line. So when we teach, basically we teach this in a 6-phase format. So the first part of this 6 phases is removing bulk, which is what you see. So once I'm done with that part, being that I forgot a trimmer at home, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna jump straight to the electric shaver now, and we're gonna ball them out at the very bottom. Shaver that I'm using is the Rebel shaver from Stylecraft. This is one of their more affordable shavers, but it's got all kinds of power, as you can see in here, and it will get him down to skin without any problem. And normally we would be coming from the trimmer length, which is 5 zeros, but I just used my clipper. I zero gapped it a little bit more because I forgot my trimmer, and none of it's gonna matter when we're done anyways. So, and we are about as far from a barber supply place as maybe I've ever been. So, all right, y'all, we got them balded out, and we're actually gonna jump into our phase 4 here. So we're gonna start blending. The beard's kind of long, so I'm gonna go ahead and just fade this out a little bit. That was better. All right, so let's start with the open taper position. Click my lever all the way down, and I'm actually gonna tip this off of the head just a little bit, and that's gonna put a pretty soft guideline in. And you'll be surprised how easy this clipper will remove this bottom line. I could already see, and actually his hair is a lot like mine. It's pretty fine. So generally blending out the skin line is a little bit easier, but the area that's a little more difficult is in the parietal ridge area. So if I put the comb on the side of the head right where it sticks off of the comb, that's gonna be the area that's gonna be a little more tricky to get right. But as you can see, just with the open taper guideline, that fade blade is practically blended out the harshest part of our guideline. So next, I'm actually gonna jump to a 1.5. I have an assortment of tight guards here. So with the 1.5, I'm gonna put that all the way closed, and I'm gonna click it 2 back. So we're halfway open, and we're gonna see what that does as far as getting us blended into the top. So generally with fine hair, you're able to kind of skip some steps. You're actually smart if you do skip some steps, because the hair is gonna start to blend out, and you don't wanna take too much off. A good rule of thumb for that is kind of the straighter the hair is, the harder this part's gonna be versus, you know, removing that skin line. But don't get me wrong, sometimes it can be difficult to remove the skin line on straight hair too. But his is coming out real easy. I got the number 2, and now what I'm trying to do is build a good connection into the top here. I don't want to round it off too much. I want to kind of come straight off the top of the head here and kind of keep that profile. So I'm gonna jump over to the half guard. We're gonna click it 2 clicks back. Now this blade isn't quite crunching like Echo Crunch blade is, but it's definitely letting me know kind of where I'm at with things. I can kind of hear if the hair is being cut or not. A good rule of thumb, whenever we're blending, we want to just kind of minimize the amount of contact we're making. So I like to use the corners for blending, kind of keeping the clipper either slightly diagonally or tipping it off the side of the head like you see me doing now. All right, so now we're gonna hit that very bottom part. I'm actually gonna do the same thing, 2 clicks back. All right, now because we don't have trimmers, oh Jesus, got a big old stump here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna use the clippers to kind of line them up just a little bit, and I'll follow up with the electric shaver. And I forgot the last.
You left at 6.
Yeah, but it was 4:30 in the morning when I packed. We didn't leave till like 5:30. I got you guys up. At that point, I was like, just let's go. I was kind of like in a hurry to just get on the road and get started because I knew we had a long day ahead of us. Yeah, it technically probably was 12 hours, but we like lost an hour because we are in Central Time Zone here.
Yeah, that's true.
It was exactly 12 hours.
Heard that too. Oh no, it's right there. Look, you see him? What's going on out here? Bro, he's moving through these things. You know, they're going to that waterfall.